So welcome to the Ultra Running Sam podcast. So just a quick word about our sponsors going forward. Obviously, we're sponsored, have been for a long time by Goku Projects, the trail running caps. Go check them out. Also, we're sponsored by Phoenix, however you pronounce it. Choose your way to pronounce it. We're sponsored by those head torches, so discount codes are around. And also, we are proudly sponsored by Home Trails. So obviously, you'll know that Home Trails is the series on YouTube for where I go and interview trail runners in their home environments and on the trails, and sit down interview out on the trails. But we're also turning it into a bit of a brand. So going forward, you're going to be hearing more about Home Trails. So we'll be organising social runs in and around the Midlands and the Peak District specifically, possibly some merchandise coming out, some hats and some t-shirts and stuff, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, duties are done, on with the show. Okay, we are recording. So this isn't like your traditional podcast interview that the listeners and the viewers are normally accustomed to. So in view of recent controversial events happening in the ultra running world, we just thought I'd have a quick chat with Kate Allen from RUNULTRA about sort of the stories that have sort of come out this week. So hello, Kate, are you all right?
Hello, Sam. I'm good, thank you. I apologise for any sound effects. I'm at 13 Valleys, waiting for the start. It's all very exciting.
Excellent. So you were there last year. So I did. What did I do? Did I do the 3 valleys or 5 valleys?
You did the 5. Did you not do the 5? Oh yeah, I'll have to find that picture of us. It was miserable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a
grim.
great. Yeah, it was a bit and rainy.
Yeah,
so.
I've got more wet weather gear and a tent this time.
Yeah, because you were literally like just on a ridge, weren't you, with your dog?
I know. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be the same place tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get some cover.
So,
yeah, definitely.
I brought a boat with me.
Might need it. Right. So for listeners, then we're just going to have a quick chat about this controversy that's come out this week about Camille Herron. So I'll sort of say what I kind of know, and then you obviously can sort of fill in the blanks as well. But basically, what's happened is that it seems that, whether this is alleged, or I'm just going to say alleged at the minute, Camille Herron, obviously, one of the greatest female ultra runners of all time, got so many records under her belt. It's like unbelievable the record she's got. But it's been alleged that her and her husband have set up Wikipedia accounts or whatever you use to edit them. I don't know if you use an email address or something. But anyway, basically these IDs have been
anonymized.
Yeah, so basically it seems like it's been alleged that it's Connor and Camille that have been editing. Obviously, she's been editing her own Wikipedia, which everyone's got the right to do that. But it's been alleged that she has been going into other people's Wikipedia pages and editing things out. So it's articles about her rivals. So I'm just reading from an article just saying that this includes Kilian Jornet, however you choose to pronounce his name, Courtney Dauwalter, and she's been accused of negatively altering the Wikipedia entries of others, downplaying their achievements while playing up her own performances and reputation. Also added to that, in the last few months, athletes who have broken Camille's previous records, ultra running records, have posted on Reddit and Facebook saying that they've had personal struggles with Camille, and say that she's meddled in the ratification processes, and it implied that people have been cheating when they've gone for these records. So seems like been alleged that she's been quite hostile to these other females that have been trying to take these records that she's set, basically.
Mm.
You can add to that.
Yes. I mean, obviously this came out first with Canadian Running.
That was it, yeah.
Trail Running magazine. I'm not sure what the basis of it was or why it came about in the first place. There was no comment from either of them in the article. Connor has since released a statement saying that he found their queries to him about it in his spam box. It's very hard to say what's fundamentally going on here, and I think without them being present to give their side of the story, the rest of us really can't. There's been yet another social media pile on.
Shall I read his what he said, his statement?
Yeah.
So his statement. So this is Connor, obviously Camille's husband and coach. He says, so in this this thing that he sent out to a lot of people, I got it through an email. I know you got it the night before. I got it in reply to an email that I sent about a possible interview. So he said, hello from Greece, here for the Spartathlon 153-mile race scheduled for this Saturday. Yesterday, I received a notification about a published article by Canadian Running magazine. The author said he reached out for a comment before it was published. I found an email sent September the 20th in my spam account yesterday after the article was published. I never got a chance to say anything to the Canadian Running website before they published it. Plus, we have been travelling the last few days with limited access. For the Wikipedia part, Tempo Run 73 was the original account I created in 2016 and used it to edit the page. I managed this so Camille can focus on her running and recovery. Starting in 2023 and continuing to this day, cyberbullies by the name of, am I allowed to name these people? I might just leave them.
It's in a statement, but
it's in a statement, yeah. By the names of Stephen Walling or Whaling, Liliana Uwu, Seafred, Melkus, and some more were repeatedly editing out significant parts of Camille's life by biographical details. I kept adding back in the details, and then they blocked my account in early February of this year. Nothing was out of line with what other athletes had on their pages. Wikipedia shows the creation of another account, so I created a new account, Run D Bowie. I was going off what other athletes had on their pages using the username Run D Bowie and copying and pasting this info. Camille had nothing to do with this. I'm 100% responsible and apologise for any athletes affected by this and the wrong I did. I was only trying to protect Camille from the constant bullying, harassment, and accusations she has endured in her running career, which has severely impacted her mental health, so much to the point that she has sought professional mental health help. I also went ahead and deactivated all of Camille's social platforms for the time being because of the vile comments she has received. I appreciate you reaching out to me. Connor Holt. Yeah, so he's kind of saying there that he's taking the blame off Camille there and saying that it's him that created these accounts and it was him that did the editing and he's taking responsibility for it, and that it was all done for her mental health, which I know obviously has been an issue for her over the years. But then also conversely you've got people saying that she's been, and I know that she has been, she has been very vocal about being bullied because of her route into ultra running coming from road marathons and stuff, and she's sort of expressed concerns about that over the years. But also other people are sort of alleging that he's been the same towards them, being hostile towards them as well. So it's difficult to know what's really going on, isn't it?
Well, this is it, and I think I don't know how. I'm not technologically. I don't have enough knowledge to know how this magazine was able to identify that these email addresses.
You can go on. I know you can go on. You can go on to see who's made changes on Wikipedia.
Yes.
They all have to be listed whenever change is made. It's all listed.
Yeah.
And it gives the person who's made the changes. You see, so.
I mean, obviously, Connor's, admitted to it. No mention was made of the changes to the other runners' accounts.
Yeah, Killian and Courtney DeWalter.
I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, I've had Camille is incredibly friendly and positive, and she talks to everyone on social media, certainly on Twitter. I think it's a particularly charming trait of hers that, unlike many other elite athletes, she does. She mucks in and she has discussions with people, and she's, it doesn't matter who you are. Whereas, many other elite runners, they're standoffish. They treasure their privacy, and so it's very hard to match this up with this lovely person that, and I've interviewed her in the past, and it's just, I just think it's very hard to, anything that happens now in the public eye is just immediately it just goes nuts on social media, and people have opinions that I think, we don't really know what's happened unless you get two people in the room, unless you get Connor and Camille in the same room as Wikipedia or the Canadian Running Magazine, and actually have them hammer it out. The rest of us can't possibly really have such a strong opinion. And at the end of the day, she's not cheated at anything. She's not taken drugs. She's not chopped the leg off of anyone. It all seems
bit of a grey.
It all seems very petty, both on their side. If it turns out they did do it, it does seem a bit petty, as you say, considering how what an amazing runner she is. She doesn't need any more. But it's also very petty of everyone else. And it's just all a bit sad, really, isn't it?
Trial by social media.
It is, and it's just it's a fact of life. I mean, I think I'm glad Connor released a statement. I think what happened earlier this year with Joe Acia over the cheating at the GB Ultras race, I think the fact that she just went to ground and did not release anything, certainly until weeks after, that was the wrong thing to do. When a story like this breaks and it seems a very obvious bad thing, so it's everyone immediately says, well, that's disgusting, that's outrageous, how could someone like this do that? But really is, things are so much more nuanced than that, and we need more context, and we need facts from the people where it actually happened, not perhaps someone who's just sort of discovered something, maybe leapt to a conclusion and released a story which, as you say, without a statement said on their behalf. So yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I think it's difficult from being the editor of an ultra running website, where it's one of my responsibilities is to try and share the news. Sharing his statement that he sent, it's sort of I knew it was just going to be met with this massive amount of derision, which it has been, and it's sad. Thank you. Right. This weekend's boss has just handed me my tea. I hope it's got milk and sugar. So yeah, it's a horrible mess. I hope it will be. I hope it will be sorted out And I hope it doesn't detract from her race at Spartathlon either. Obviously, we know the mental aspects of races, particularly such a hard one, is a huge thing, and this must be really weighing on her massively, the poor thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I sort of listened to some podcasts about it this morning, and the sort of consensus was that they didn't think that she was going to start the race, but then you never know, do you? She might be sort of fired up and ready to race. But
Just going to hand this back. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
We're poor folk here. We have to share the cake.
Yeah, nothing wrong with sharing a bit of cake in a cafe. So the upshoot of this is that obviously her major sponsor Lululemon takes this quite seriously. So have you seen the statement?
That's sad. Yes, I did. Yeah. Again, so I mean, I hope that they contacted her first. I hope they've had.
It says, yeah. Well, it says in the statement says, I'll read it. It says, we are committed to uploading. Yeah, we are committed to uploading equitable competition in sport for all and intentionally partner with ambassadors who embody these same values. After careful consideration and conversation, we have decided to end our ambassador partnership with Camille. We want to acknowledge Camille's achievements during our partnership and wish her well in her future endeavors. So that says after careful consideration and conversation, but it doesn't say that conversation.
Yeah, is that with her or?
Yeah, just between themselves. I don't know. But she has released a statement, hasn't she, herself? Have you heard that?
I mean, it is. Well, has she? What on?
Yeah, but it's like anonymously, but I can't find it now.
Yeah, she. Again, I'm not sure about that. I've seen. I did see a screenshot. I'm not sure. Again, I would be very suspicious of anything right now.
Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not her. I don't know. It's anonymous. I don't know. So whether it is,
yeah,
can't find it now. Anyway, don't know where it is.
it is sad. I think the what she's done for female runners, and particularly with that event she did with Lululemon further, was amazing, and the data and the science that they took from that, is going to go forward to try and give us more details about running and about endurance, specifically on the female body, which is we don't have any of that. So what she's contributed is immensely positive, and again she's such an immensely positive person. Nobody knows what goes on within four walls, but
it's a shame, isn't it? I mean, either way, if it all turns out to be true or if it all turns out to be false, then unfortunately the situation is that she's been dropped by a major sponsor. Can she recover from this? Can she come back from it? And it just seems like it's an awful shame for ultra running, full stop, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. But still, I mean, yeah, I think the nub of it is changing other people's, did that happen? How did it happen? Are there any extenuating circumstances? I just think we need to find out more, and I think we need to judge less, and just always keep in mind that certainly we never know the full story. I mean, I am hoping Camille did send. I did reach out to Camille when I first heard about this, and I said, that I'm wishing her well, and I hope she's okay, and I hope she has a good race. She did reply and say that she'd like to come back on a podcast with me. So maybe we'll get a chance to talk to her and find out from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, well, that was exactly why I emailed Connor, because I'd been in contact with Camille and Connor since I went out to Western States in 2022, and
Mm.
I actually ran Camille in down from Rowby Point to the finish, and I got chatting to her, and and I spoke to Connor at the time and said, can we arrange a podcast? So we were sort of emailing each other backwards and forwards, and we never managed to get it. They were traveling a lot, and it never worked
Mm.
out that we put it on paper when we were going to do it. But I'd still
Yeah.
got this email sort of exchange between us, so I just sort of fired an email back to him and just said, feel sorry for both of you for everything that's happening. But if you want to sort of give your side of things, I said, I'm sort of unbiased in this in what's happened. I did the same thing for UTMB and Ironman when all the stuff happened
Mm. Mm.
and everything. So if they want a platform to tell their side of the story, then I'd be more than happy to do that. But obviously,
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
taken the course of just shutting everything down, and I don't know whether that was wise or whether it was just purely just sort of self-preservation to say that they
I
don't
think it's
use.
self-preservation. I think it's particularly ahead of Spartathlon. I think, if she wants to concentrate on having a good race, she needs to just block out. And I have no doubt she will have received a lot of vitriol, which really, it it's not deserved. For Jane Bloggs from Suffolk to write a post to say, I think what you've done is disgusting, is actually, it's I know it's in the public domain, and I know obviously that the reputation of ultra running is, is this is important to make sure that we don't cast a shadow on it, but at the same time, the number of people that just vitriolic, it's just nasty. It's nasty, it's unnecessary, particularly people who are posting anonymously. Do you know what, just get a life. Actually, this is not, it's not rocket science. No one's died. you know Calm down.
Worst things
We'll
happening in the world. Yeah.
There are a lot worse things happening in the world, and I think, on the whole, ultra running, I don't think this casts a huge pall over ultra running. It's a bit sad. I hope we get to the bottom of it and clear it up. But there's an amazing race in Spartathlon about to start, or is it tonight or tomorrow?
Saturday, yeah.
And we've got another, amazing, this Sri Chimnoy Self-Transcendence in New York is starting, just 3,100 miles.
Crazy,
there's some pretty awesome things happening out there. Let's focus on the positives. Let's, applaud the runners that are out there, regardless of who they are. And keep smiling, guys.
Keep smiling. Right, I'm going to let you go because I know your time is precious, and you are in the Lake District for this weekend. So
it's good to have a chat. I think it's nice to talk about these things as well, actually, and just have a little reflection. That's all I'm going to ask is, guys, you guys listening, we don't really know what's happened. It sounds bad, but hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. And ultra running is it's still awesome. It's still positive. It's still an amazing community. So let's keep it that way.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on and giving some insights. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna carry on solo because I've got a couple of other things to talk about. So, but I'll tell you what they are.
You mean there's something else?
I'll tell you what they are before because I don't want to keep you on for ages. I know you like sat in a cafe.
Sorry, I'm just drinking.
Had you heard about the possibility of Nike offering a £1 million contract? Have you heard of that to a famous female trail runner?
No.
About that. So that's something I've heard on the grapevine.
Okay.
Allegedly, this is allegedly Nike Trail or Nike full stop have offered Courtney Dauwalter $1 million.
I was going to say, it's not Camille, is it?
It's not Camille, no. $1 million to go to switch from
Well,
salary. So
okay.
whether
Do we
that,
know if she's accepted?
I think it's just at the minute. I think it's just hearsay, but it's a story that's sort of being
Okay.
floated around. So whether it's true or not, or whether it's just, a bit of propaganda or hype or something, but
Oh, we love a bit of juicy gossip, don't we?
yeah. But I think if it's true, it's that's great, isn't it? That big money is being put out there for the most, one of the most
Yeah, yeah.
famous ultra
And
runners.
she's got to be the female goat. Let's
Yeah,
face it.
exactly. Yeah.
Um,
It's definitely her.
I
Isn't
mean,
it?
I don't, I can't, there are lots and lots of fantastic and brilliant runners, but there's no doubt she stands out on the trail, in the mountains, head and shoulders above anyone else.
And if Nike get hold of her, then it means she'll be in more in the public eye as well. So she'll go from being like an ultra running legend to being like just a sporting legend that people will probably know because
Well, yeah. I mean, that's got to be great for ultra running,
Yeah.
isn't it? Not only expanding the sport, but also providing much needed funding, hopefully, and yeah, turning the world's eye on our sport.
Yeah, brilliant. Do you want to know what the other thing
Go on.
was?
Yeah, you can't let me go without. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me.
No, I was just going to talk about the. So obviously you got the Camille Herron controversy thing going on, but at the same time, did you see all the smaller controversy with Golden Trails and the sprint finish? See that in one of the races. So they were at Mammoth Trail Fest in Marin County over in the US around San Francisco area, and one of the races came down to the wire, and there was two a Moroccan runner.
Oh, Kippergy and
Yeah,
bit of an elbow.
yeah, and there was a bit of hoo-ha about whether it was deliberate or whether it was sort of by accident, and sort of it was all sort of not very. It was all a bit heated at the time and not very nice. Apparently, they weren't talking to each other.
Oh,
But
really?
but since then, they've sort of come to terms with it, and they're now sort of being really nice to each other on social media. So I thought that was good to sort of round up the podcast with that. The fact that although there's like lots of vitriol and stuff being thrown around about the Camille things, there's also the other side of trail running where
Good old-fashioned competition.
yeah, people have fallen out, but it's all been settled and okay. People have had.
Yeah. I think absolutely you should sharpen your elbows. I mean, it's trail running.
Rubbing his race.
I mean, it is. I mean, you've got to. I mean, it is. I mean, just the physical permutations of trail running is sometimes you're going to have a very narrow path, and sometimes you have to sort of barge past somehow. I know this other. I mean, I watched the video, and the guy behind, he did try and take a very odd line to get round him.
Stone wall, didn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, it does seem a bit an odd way. I mean, I would have gone to the left personally, but
maybe prefers to pass on.
I think the chap in front, sort of defended his position.
Well, I watched the video quite a few times because it was from different angles, and elbow. I don't think his elbow. His cadence stayed the same. His elbow it didn't go like any faster or slower. And I don't think it went out any further than it already was. I think it just looked bad because he turned his head as his elbow came up to look at him.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, worse things have happened at sea. I think there's a very important rule out there, which means just don't take yourself too seriously.
So I thought it'd be good to sort of finish with that although there is sort of nasty things being said on the internet about runners, there's also nice things happening in running as well. So sports and people actually getting on, so not all hope is lost with running.
No, absolutely. And actually, I mean, I've got someone here who might be writing an article for me about 13 Valleys. They've given a load of places to people from not so great backgrounds and who wouldn't normally be in trail running.
That part of Into Ultra.
Sorry?
That part of Into Ultra. So Damo's one of Damo's.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, because he's not written it. He's here and he's going to be writing about it. But I'm hoping to publish that. It just shows that there's people out there who are kind and who want to help people get out there, enjoy the trail, enjoy the hills and the fells and the mountains, and help people get there who wouldn't ordinarily be able to. So there's a lot of good out there.
There is, I think, and ultimately, I think that I've got this theory that it's just the growing pains of ultra running, because it's gone from being, friends running together in the woods and hugging each other afterwards, to money coming into the sport and making it more professional. If you make it, money comes in, then more people want to try different personalities, not just your sort of the guy that just wants to sort of van and run on the trails. You get all sorts of people coming in, personalities change, and as money comes in, so does controversy. So, and you get people cheating, you'll get people cutting corners, literally, and I think it's all part of the sport just growing.
Yeah, absolutely. There'll always be people that are complaining, and the old guard, like, oh, it wasn't like this in our day. But there's lots of positivity as well with the young people coming up and through, and the ultra running is getting younger. The sort of average age is getting younger, so it's not just us old codgers that are mincing around. Some young, fit, fast people are, and records are dropping wild, left, right, and centre because of it. So it's a very exciting time to be in, I think.
It is a very exciting time to be in ultra running. Awesome. Right, I'll let you get back to your coffee and your marshalling duties for 13 Valleys up in the Lake District. So thank you very much, Kate Allen, for
Thank you, Sam.
being my roving reporter out in the wilds.
We'll chat soon.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Kate. Talk to you
soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we're still recording. Kate's gone. So just wanted to sort of finish up now just by mentioning, for any of you guys that are up in the Midlands and fancy a trail run, we are doing the first inaugural Home Trails social run on Sunday. So if you've not seen that, I put it on social media a few times. But if you're in the Peak District area on Sunday, 8:30, we're meeting in Fairholmes car park, which is like Lady Bower, Derwent, Res area. And we're going to do, depending on who comes and what route people want to do, we'll do between 10 or 14 mile. There's two routes that we can do, 10 or 14. So see what everybody wants to do on the day. And if you can't make it, don't worry, we're going to be doing them every single month going forward. So at some point there'll be one that should fit with you, and we'll possibly do them in different areas as well. So keep looking at social media to find out what we do with that. And that's the end of the podcast. So thanks for listening, guys, and see you soon. Bye.